to go. I don't go no more. From now on, everything's gonna be alright. Don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. Don't ever leave me.
Got some more fiberglass door panels I'm about to do. These here going in a 2003, 2004, something like that. Escalade. I'm gonna put 4 6.5 SKAR Audios. There you go here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna put one here, one here, one here, and one here. I'm trying to map it out now. I'm gonna come up with something. What I did, I just traced out around the door panel and also where the door opener go. I traced that out so I can kind of get an idea of where I can put my speakers at. Let me see, can you see the outline? So I'm just gonna probably put one here. Let me open up the rest of them and I'm gonna show you. I think I done came up with how I'm gonna put the speakers. I think I'm gonna go with this here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn these over and I'm gonna trace out around them so I can go ahead and cut it out. I turned my speakers over so I can trace it out. This line here just for reference for my inner circle. And on my inner circle I just cut the box out where the speakers were sitting in. Cut it out some. And then I pick my speaker up. And that's my inner circle there. I just traced around it and this is what I'm going to cut out. This line here was just for reference. And then I'm going to cut this out, my outer circles. The only thing I did with my outer circles, I just came out a little bit from the speakers and just traced. Well, I didn't trace it, I just drew a freehand line all the way around. So let me cut these out, then you'll get a better idea. You probably can get a better idea on what I was talking about. See, this is the inner circle, what I just cut out. Cut it out with the jigsaw. And the speaker's just gonna sit down in it. And I'm gonna have to cut the rest of them out. I'm just gonna use this as a reference. Put it on the inside and just trace it, then cut it out. I got the inner circles cut out. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the outer circles out around the whole template. I got everything cut out. This is what I was going for. Let me put it up against the panel. Give you an idea. It's going to be something like that. So now I'm going to have to cut the other panel out. It's going to be the same design. The only thing you got to do is just flip this over and you'll get that design. So I'm finna bring this over here on my wood and just trace that. That'll be for the other door panel. I'm getting it set up now. I got my level, making sure it's level. Then I got me some legs going around the ends of it. But how I done it, I had some old wood lying around. I just cut out a lot of pieces, different sizes. It don't gotta be no certain size. Just make sure your speaker clear. Then I put one in the middle. Then I went off that. Then I started adding. Like you get your one. I just started adding. I put some hot glue on there. I got a hot glue gun here. Then I just slid it up under it and just slide it all the way around to when it stop. When it stop, you leave it. Then I got me a Sharpie, a red Sharpie. I just marked where my legs was. Because I don't got it glued to the panel yet. I'm just setting it up. But once I get all my legs set up, then I'm gonna go ahead and glue it to the panel. See how I know where to put it because of the red marks. Once I got my template how I want it, I went on and circled on the inside of it. It ain't gotta be no perfect circle because you ain't gonna see it once you finish it and put the speakers in. But the reason why I done that, because I'm finna cut this out so the speaker will be able to sit down in it with clearance, so the magnet will clear. See, this is what I was talking about, how I cut the bottom out so the magnet can clear. Okay, the next step is to glue this to the door panel. I got everything marked, my legs marked, so I can know where to put the glue at. You can see I marked on the outside of the leg, then I put a line on the side so I can know to put the glue on the inside of that. The glue going on the inside, inside. You just get your glue gun and just start gluing. Then you'll be ready to set it. I got my piece glued down pretty good. I also went on and taped up the areas that I wasn't going to fiberglass on both door panels. Now it's time for some fleece. I went to Walmart to get some fleece. I got 2 yards. It was $7.68 for 2 yards. And this the spray I'm gonna use, Loctite. When I start laying my fleece, I usually throw it back middle ways. Then I go ahead and spray the middle and work my way to the end on both sides. Okay, as you can see, I'm finishing up on my staples. I laid the fleece down. You also want to staple around your edges because once you start laying that resin, it'll lift up on you. So you just want to get the outline. Like around here, this is where the handle gonna be. So I made sure I laid some staples down right here because it'll lift up. You also want to fold your end pieces over onto the inside because if you don't, it's going to lift up at the ends also. So turn your piece over and fold your pieces on the inside, with your fleece on the inside. I think I got everything now with the stapling. show you over here. I staple this because it'll lift up also because it's a curve there. Also right here, I want to keep that curve. If I didn't want to keep that curve, I wouldn't have stapled it. Then it lifts up. Once you get everything fleeced up, I got both door panels. Then you got to get you some fiberglass resin. Got some in my cup here. I ain't got too much mixed up because I ain't want to waste it if it harden up on me. But just stir it up, then get you a chip brush. Then you can go ahead and spread it on. This is just the first layer of resin. You can see around my speaker rings I didn't resin up in here because I'm going to cut this out after my second layer. Or I might cut it out after the first layer. But I'm going to cut this out. That's why I didn't resin this. I had went on and cut my speaker rings out because it's a lot easier cutting them out now than waiting once you put that second layer of resin or a third layer of resin. It's a lot tougher. So our next step is laying the fiberglass mat. I got some cut up different sizes. I'm going to use Evercoat C-glass fiberglass mat. I got my resin. I just got to stir it up. I got my hardener already in it. What I did, I laid me a layer of resin. Then I came back with some fiberglass mat on top of that. I just pulled it in different spots. Then I'm going to come back again with another layer of resin on top of the fiberglass mat. Getting all the air bubbles out. You can use a fiberglass roller if you got one. But I'm pretty sure if you just start doing fiberglass, you ain't got no roller. And you can get a chip brush at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. It might take a little bit more time, but it'll work. But that's the process. You just got to keep pulling together all the fiberglass mat. Just like it's a puzzle, connecting the dots. I still got to do this part here. All the way to here. That's where I started at. I'm finishing up knocking it down with the DA. I got 80 grit on the DA. I'm gonna show you what it looked like before I knocked it down. I haven't knocked this one down yet. I'm gonna go ahead and knock that one down. Then we're gonna go on to the next step. Once you blow it off and get all the sand and dust off, it's time to move on to the next step. The next step is applying some filler, body filler, and fill up all these imperfections. The filler we're going to be using is by Bundo. You can also use fiberglass filler, short strand, or some Bundo glass by Bundo. This here 3M is your choice. This here make the piece a little stronger, but I got 3 layers of fiberglass, so that should be good. I'm just going to use Bundo. I'm just finishing up on the sanding. What I'm finna do now, I'm finna go ahead and mix up a little bit more filler so I can touch up the spots. Like up in here, I'm just gonna hit it with my finger, fill up that. Just some little areas need to be touched up. Like that. Low spots. Then I'm gonna bevel all this off up in here. Okay, once you get through sanding your touch-ups, you want to go ahead and blow your piece off. Then you want to get you some spot putty, glazing putty, and start filling in little pinholes and imperfections. Like along here, you just want to fill them in. You can do it after the primer, but I like to do it before the primer. Then I do it again after the primer, but I try to catch all of them I see now. I got it sanded down, ready to be primed now. I went on and masked it up where the tape was coming up at. Redid it. I got my ends beveled off, but I'm gonna have to do it some more once I prime it. I'll be able to see more imperfections. Let me go ahead and mix this primer. Just got through spraying both door panels with 3 coats of 2K primer. This here show me all my imperfections. Let me see, can I find some? This camera, it ain't focusing because of that gray. But it's an imperfection now. There's a lot of them, but you just can't see it because the camera, it won't focus on this gray. see, can you see some of these? There's one here. No, it ain't gonna focus for me. There's a lot of pinholes up in here. I'm gonna let this dry overnight. Then I'm gonna come out here in the morning and I'm gonna sand all this down. Get it real smooth for my next round of primer. This here gonna be covered up though. That will too. I just finished up using my red glazing pudding on all my imperfections. I like using this brand here towards the end of the sanding because it sands a lot easier. And I'm using a finer grit sandpaper, so this here might be a little bit better than it, but you want to use that earlier, like when you're using a tougher grit sandpaper, because it come off a lot easier than that red glazing pudding. See, right now I'm gonna go ahead and use probably some 320 on this. So I want to go ahead and knock this down and get ready for my paint. It really ain't no special way of doing this here, as long as you're getting this smooth enough so that paint can go on it. Because once you put that clear on it, it's going to show all your imperfections. So you want to get it as smooth as you can. This the other panel over here. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get me some flat black spray paint and spray some guide coat over this here. So once I start sanding, it'll show me all my imperfections in my big area. The reason why I done my glazing pudding before my black spray paint, because once I would have sprayed that black spray paint on it, it would have kind of hid the little small imperfections. It's easy to see them now. So I'm going to go ahead and put the guide coat on it, then I'll be ready to start sanding it. I just wanted to show you the purpose of the guide coat. See right here, the black spray paint. I'm going to have to bring this down, just like I got this here. It's showing me all my low spots. Like this here. I got to bring it down. I also went and done around here. It was a low spot here, so I put some more glaze and put it on it. And these two spots also. I got it good and prepped up for my next coat of primer. I think I'm going to put about 2 coats of primer on it. Then I wet sand that with 400. primer done dried now. I was gonna put some guide coat on it, but I changed my mind. I'm just gonna go ahead and wet sand it. But I got some 400 grit sandpaper. I got it soaking in some soapy water. I'm gonna let the paper soften up. Then I'll be ready to wet sand. You ain't trying to knock it down too far. You just want to get a smooth finish. If you just now doing this, starting out, you might want to put some guide coat on it so you'll know. But I usually sand a little bit, then I fill it with my other hand, make sure it's smooth. But I just got my paper folded in threes. I got both panels ready to be sprayed with the base coat. I remasked everything, make sure I got a clean line. I also had to touch some spots up with some glazing putty. But I'm gonna be spraying a rose gold on here. I'm gonna be spraying my base coat with this SATAjet 4400 HVLP. And I'm gonna be spraying the clear coat with the RP. When I was spraying my first coat of base coat, the gun wasn't spraying right. Come to find out, it was my vent hole on my lid. It was stopped up. As you can see, it's stopped up there. It's supposed to be like this. But that was the problem. Okay, my next step is getting you a tack rag. Get your tack rag, go ahead and tack it off. Tack it off for the clear coat.
We never stop.